Heavy Russian airstrikes in Ukraine leave Kiev in the dark. Zelensky targets Moscow's frozen assets. Hundreds of thousands of homes have been left without electricity and water in Ukraine, while Russian airstrikes on energy infrastructure intensify as winter approaches for the third consecutive year. During the night, Kiev and the regions of Donetsk, Chernihiv, Cherkasy, Kharkiv, Sumy, Poltava, Odessa, Dnipro, and Zaporizhzhia were hit. According to Ukrainian authorities, over 450 drones and 30 missiles were launched. A 7-year-old child was killed and at least 33 people were injured. We don't need empty words but decisive action from the US, Europe, and the G7 on air defense and sanctions, reiterated Volodymyr Zelensky, who called for the use of frozen Russian assets to finance the reconstruction of the energy grid. The Ukrainian president had a telephone conversation with Christine Lagarde. Solutions exist, he said, adding that sufficient political will is needed in Europe, where most of the assets are concentrated. Maxim Timchenko, CEO of DTEK, the country's largest private energy company, called the attacks a serious escalation with serious damage to thermal power plants. A source quoted by AFP explained that cloudy skies allowed many Russian drones to bypass air defenses, facilitating what Zelensky called a cynical and calculated operation. Moscow claimed responsibility for a massive attack against energy infrastructure targets that, according to the Kremlin, ensure the functioning of Ukraine's military-industrial complex. In the afternoon, Ukraine's energy minister announced that electricity had been restored to approximately 270,000 homes in Kiev, but some areas in the east and south remain without power. Sources cited by Bloomberg claim that the October 3rd strikes on Kharkiv and Poltava destroyed 60% of the country's gas production. Kiev could be forced to import up to 4.4 billion cubic meters by the end of March at a cost of close to $2 billion, almost 20% of annual consumption. On the diplomatic front, the E3 countries, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom, say they are ready, in close cooperation with the United States, to proceed with the use of immobilized Russian sovereign assets. However, operational decisions regarding both the assets and the new U.S. sanctions are still pending. Meanwhile, Vladimir Putin stated that Donald Trump is doing a lot for peace, also praising his plan for Gaza. Trump thanked the Russian leader for his words. First Lady Melania reported contacts with the Kremlin regarding the issue of deported Ukrainian children. Diplomacy, however, remains stalled, while Washington is considering the supply of Tomahawk missiles to Kiev. It would be a blow to relations between Moscow and Washington, Putin warned, adding that our response will be to strengthen air defenses.